Well, unfortunately, this news is going to piss off a lot of people, including myself. And for those who are homeowners, I hope to God that you have a fixed mortgage and that you're not riding this variable mortgage rate, because interest rates have just gone up again. The Bank of Canada has just announced, and Justin Trudeau has made comments on this, a 5%. Now, that's what the Bank of Canada has when they loan money to banks in Canada. It's higher. So I think probably the best mortgage you could get is like 6.5% or 6%, something like that. So this is going to be catastrophic, everybody. They're trying to combat inflation by purposely raising the interest rates. So whenever they do press releases saying, hey, interest rates are going to be down by this time, you can trust us, go borrow money, it's a great time to do that. Don't do that, because in a video that I posted a few weeks ago, I actually caught Freeland admitting that they're doing this on purpose. They're raising the interest rates on purpose. And that's why this video has 100,000 views. So we're going to just start off by looking at the older video from a few weeks ago of Freeland admitting it. And then we're going to look at Bank of Canada's remarks from today and Justin Trudeau's remarks. Before we get into it though, I want to encourage you to give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps grow the channel and fight inflation, from what I hear. Okay, here we go. Here's a video. You can find this from 3 weeks ago. 104,000 views.
You know, when you talk about the weakening of the economy, yeah, that's happening, but it's not a surprise. And actually, it's on purpose, right? The Bank of Canada has raised interest rates very high, very quickly.
Wait, what? The weakening of the economy is on purpose?
Yeah, that's happening, but it's not a surprise. And actually, it's on purpose, right? The Bank of Canada has raised interest rates very high, very quickly, because it wanted to slow down the economy.
That's insane. If you listen to any other press conferences that Chrystia Freeland does, who's our finance minister here in Canada, she says interest rates in Canada will be 3% by summer. Canada's economy is the best in the G7. We have our AAA credit rating. It's just regurgitation of headlines that aren't like... They're not super duper scandalous that the whole country's like, whoa, aliens are here type of thing, but it's believable to some people that just read the headlines, I suppose. But when you look at the actual numbers, like Bank of Canada, 5% interest rate as of today, it really shows that they are screwing us on purpose in order to fix the economy. But that's fine. Like, if you're going to do, I'm not saying that that's fine in the sense of that's fine, but the economy does have to be fixed from the damage that was done from all the borrowing and all the money that was spent by the Canadian government. Where it's not fine is they're saying our government, our economy is doing great. They're putting the bar up here, but where we are is down here. And so they're lying to us. They're lying to the country. They're lying to the world, all while gouging us, saying, no, it's fine, raise the rates. Like, you can't do that. If it's not fine, then just say it's not fine, and then it would be at least fine because you're saying it's not fine. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. But let's take a look at the article here. CBC Bank of Canada raises its key interest rates to 5%. 10th rate hike in central bank since March 2022. And we go down and you look at the chart here, you have January 2018, it was around 1%. January 2019, 1.5%. Then they tanked at below 0.5%, about 0.25% during, the big shutdowns and stuff like that. And then boom, look at this upward trajectory. And I believe it's going to keep going up. We're probably going to see it go and top at like 7%. I think it's actually going to become almost unbearable, which is very, very, very frightening. But you have a testimony here that says, I'm a homeowner with $500,000 25-year variable rate loan at a rate of 5.8%. Yesterday would have been paying $25.12 a month. After Wednesday's hike, their rate is likely to jump to 6.05%, which would bump the monthly payment to $25.71 a month, an increase of more than $700 a year. And that's with a $500,000 25-year variable rate. Now, a lot of people have a mortgage in Canada that is significantly higher than that because the cost of housing is so high. So you're looking at $700 a year. What about an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a year? I mean, this is a real a real thing here. A lot of people have gotten mortgages at 1%, 2%, 3%. They got variable because the Canadian government said, hey, don't worry, now's the best time to borrow money. And all of a sudden, now they went from paying, $1,200, $1,100 a month to like $2,500 a month. This is just getting out of hand. Let's see what Justin Trudeau has to say about the matter. This is not news that any Canadian wanted to receive this morning. Prime Minister Trudeau tells media when asked concerns about possible mortgage defaults in light of Bank of Canada decision to raise its key interest rate to 5%, the highest it's been since 2001. Hey, I'm sorry you guys are going through this, but the reality is this is needed.
Its base lending rate to 5% today. That's the highest in over 2 decades. How concerned are you that Canadians are going to start defaulting on mortgages and other debts?
Look, this is not the news that any Canadian wanted to receive this morning.
Well, I would actually beg to differ because Freeland here literally said that we're doing this on purpose. So what is it, sock boy?
This is also a challenge that I've had conversations with fellow leaders from here in Europe and around the world on. The cost of living is a real challenge everywhere around the world, with record high inflation, with interest rates continuing to go up. People around the world are facing significant challenges. That's why in Canada, we've stepped up with targeted support for people who most need it at this moment. So last week, we delivered the grocery rebate to 11 million Canadians. Canadians in provinces where the federal pricing backstop applies will be receiving their climate check this week. And next week, the Canada Child Benefit is going to be increasing with the cost increases in the cost of living. On top of the housing benefit and other benefits we're delivering, we are very much focused on supporting Canadians, even as we create great jobs and grow the economy. We will continue to be there for Canadians through these difficult times as we create a brighter future for everyone.
What a piece of crap. If that was all jargon to you, if you were not satisfied with that, you are not alone. Trudeau is manipulating Canadians. He's manipulating the situation. And frankly, he's doing a horrible, horrible, horrible job of mismanaging this country. So many people are going to default on their mortgages. Here's what the Bank of Canada, head of Bank of Canada, has to say about this.
Thank you and good morning. I'm very pleased to be here with Senior Deputy Governor Carolyn Rogers to discuss today's policy announcement and our monetary policy report. Today, we raised our policy interest rate by 25 basis points to 5%. We are also continuing our policy of quantitative tightening. This decision reflects two broad considerations.
They love those words.
First, monetary policy is working, but underlying inflationary pressures are proving more stubborn. We have made considerable progress in the fight against inflation. CPI inflation has fallen from a peak of 8.1% last summer to 3.4% in May. But even as headline inflation has come down largely as we forecast, underlying inflationary pressures are proving more persistent than we expected. Higher interest rates are needed to slow the growth of demand in the economy and relieve price pressures. Second, we are trying to balance the risks of under and over tightening monetary policy. If we don't do enough now, we'll likely have to do even more later. But if we do too much, we risk making economic conditions unnecessarily painful for everybody.
I would argue that they are already there. Everybody has a struggle when they go get groceries. Everybody is struggling to be a homeowner, which should be a right as a Canadian citizen here in this country. Rent is unbearably high because mortgages are unbearably high, and no one will ever rent out their house for less than what their mortgage costs. So they've already achieved the goal of it being unbearably painful. Good job, buddy.
We've come a long way, and we don't want to squander the progress we've made. We need to stay the course to restore price stability for Canadians.
Stay the course of quantitative tightening and gouging Canadians. This is horrible news, and I hope that we can all get through this together. This is unfortunately going to take years and years to fix. So if you're praying that this is solved by the end of the year or by the end of summer, it's not. They will never bring down the interest rates more than like 25 points. So it'll always go down 0.25% at a time. I don't ever see it going down one full percent at a time, because that's going to be too drastic of a change, which will shock the economy and cause just chaos if it goes down or up, regardless at that fast of a rate. So this is going to take many, many years to fix, unfortunately. And I mean, my only hope is that we can vote ourselves out of this situation, because anyone who votes for the Liberals at this point, when they are openly admitting to, yes, we are screwing everybody over on purpose to fix the economy, is absolutely outrageous to me. And so if you vote Liberal, you are part of the problem. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do so by checking out the merch shop linked right up there. Or if you want to do something for free, which is also absolutely acceptable and highly encouraged, you can subscribe right there. If you want to continue watching videos like this, you can do so by clicking or tapping right there to watch the next upcoming video. And if you want to watch a little bit of different content, but also Canadian stuff, you can do so by clicking right up there. That's my second channel, House of Canada, also known as the House of Commons Highlights. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.